Guten Tag, bonjour and buongiorno, and especially a very warm welcome to the Continental European update. In the next few minutes, I will give you an overview of the market performance of our region, the customer, an overview of key features and characteristics, as well as an outlook on activities for the next financial year. Continental Europe, in our case, covers the markets of Germany, France and Italy. And it is currently not only showing strong and consistent performance, all three markets are experiencing historic highs in visitor arrival figures, while Germany in particular is producing record spend levels as well. This region continues to be leisure focused, with about 86% of our arrivals coming from the leisure segment, and its key strength lies in the quality over quantity in terms of the visitors that we deliver. Wide dispersal remains a key attribute of continental Europeans, and that results in a significant contribution to the economic benefit of those regional areas that are less visited by other markets. Some of the reasons for this travel behavior and the current strong performance is a narrowing destination choice for Europeans, a thriving German economy coupled with record low unemployment rates, very healthy consumer confidence, together with good consumer spending levels, and all of that creates the perfect territory for continued strong long-haul travel behavior out of this region, and I firmly believe that Australia will benefit markedly from this. The continental European region delivers approximately 406,000 visitors across the markets, and we contribute 6% of the total overall inbound spend, or 2.4 billion Australian dollars, and 8% of total visitor nights, which equates to just under 20 million visitor nights out of continental Europe. Germany in particular is showing a very strong performance. We have for the first time in history gone over the 200,000 visitor mark, and the figures are still rising at round about 7% for the market at present, and about 15% increase in the expenditure levels. Germany is one of the most valuable dispersal markets, and it continues to improve. The growth comes from all age groups, with the strongest increases coming from the 40+ segment at the moment. Having said that, youth continues to be an important segment for the German and the other continental European markets. If we look at the total importance of youth within the region, about just over half of our spend comes from the youth target group, and in terms of arrivals, there are about 41% that come from the youth segment. So something that we need to continue to focus on. In terms of working holiday, it's a bit of a mixed situation across the three markets. Germany still shows an increase in working holiday, whereas France and Italy currently show a decline. Overall, continental Europe contributes a third of the worldwide working holiday makers at present. If you look at the German market, or at Germany as a country at present, we've got federal elections coming up in September. But in all honesty, regardless of the outcome of the elections, it won't have any major impact on German travel behavior or German behavior overall. There are two very strong candidates to choose between, and both of them can run our country, which is currently thriving in terms of the economic situation, politically very stable, and that results in very confident consumers who wish to travel and who increasingly spend their money on travel overall. If we look at the French market, it really has been a great success story over the last few years and has gone from strength to strength. If we look at the development of visitor arrivals since 2005, the market has actually increased by 88%. And this increase is largely thanks to youth, or more particular to working holiday makers from the French market. This situation has unfortunately come to a halt, or more precisely actually to a decline in working holiday numbers. And this is something that we need to look at in the upcoming months and work on making French youth love Australia again and making it their number one choice when thinking about a working holiday trip. On the other hand, it represents a great opportunity to look at new segments in the market and to focus more on the high-value traveler and work with our trade partners on this specifically. The Italian market is also a success story for Australia, and it has grown by 44% over the last 10 years. In recent times, growth has strongly been influenced by working holidaymakers in this market as well. And similar to the situation in France, there has been a decrease in working holiday numbers coming out of Italy. The positive news, though, is that the honeymoon or couple segment has been able to compensate for the loss in expenditure through working holidaymakers and has still resulted in this market growing softly in recent times. Moving forward, that means pretty much the same as it does for us in France. We need, on the one hand, make Italian youth fall in love with Australia again, but on the other hand, work on the high-value traveller in conjunction with our trade partners in the market to show stronger growth out of that market. Overall, the Italian visitor is a very high-spending one. They love upmarket experiences, they love beach experiences, city experiences, and nature. And so Australia has got everything to offer that this market is looking for. Living in continental Europe is extremely interesting and fascinating at the moment. Whilst there are many areas that are different across our markets, there are some topics that actually unite us all at present. All of us have federal elections either at the very moment or in the autumn of 2017, which is the case in Germany, or in May 2018. Each country looks at that situation with a very curious eye to see which tendency within the country will win and which consequences this will have for Europe, or more to the point, for the European Union. On the other hand, the strongest topic across all markets is one of safety and security, since unfortunately terrorism has moved right to our doorsteps. On the positive, or on a more positive note on that tragic topic, it does actually mean that people look more carefully where they want to go on holiday and how safe a destination is. It has also meant that certain destinations that have been very popular with Europeans for shorter haul holidays, such as Northern Africa, Turkey, for example, they are actually reasonably hard to sell at the moment. It does mean that the destination choices for Europeans are narrowing, and Australia has a very good position in that, and that is a great opportunity for our market. Value for money is something that has always been important to Europeans, and that is an area where we can jointly show either good deals, which is always a motivating factor, or alternatively value adds that are meaningful to our customers. The area that is, to be perfectly blunt, a no-brainer for Australia is world-class nature, and that is an area that ranks very highly for all three European markets. Australia has everything to offer in the areas of coastal and aquatic, in the area of wildlife that people love and look for, and also in some of the indigenous tourism experiences that are set in these world-class nature areas. Coastal and aquatic features, as far as I'm concerned, into world-class nature, but also into the lifestyle area that people are looking for when coming to Australia. Good food and wine and friendly citizens have varying ranks of importance in all three markets, but it is something that we can easily put forward in our messaging for promoting holidays to Australia. Air access from Europe has never been better than it is at present, and if we look at airline prices, and whilst they are not quite as competitive as they are in the UK market, they have also never been cheaper than they currently are. People can either choose to travel via the Middle East or via Southeast Asia, and both of these options are very popular. It is important to note that all three countries, we have several airports that have feeder flights into either the Middle East or Southeast Asia, making that journey that little bit more comfortable for our European traveller. There will be a direct flight from London to Perth in the next year, and whilst we are unsure at this stage what the uptake will be from the continent, it definitely is a message that will resonate very strongly and will psychologically bring Australia closer to Europe. Working with our airline partners continues to be the fundamental pillar of our work in Europe, And we will be working with our partner Etihad Airways in the next financial year, as well as with Singapore Airlines. Both of these airlines have their alliances with Virgin Australia, so promoting the domestic network within Australia is extremely important to us as a market where dispersal is key and where we need to show Europeans how they can best travel within Australia, covering large distances. We know that the continental European customer, regardless of their digital focus in looking for inspiration and researching for a trip, when it comes to booking the trip, they are still very traditional and prefer to book via a travel agent or tour operator, be it online with that person, be it in person in a shop, or be it on the phone. That's why we place utmost importance on developing and further increasing the Aussie Specialist program in our region. We currently sit at 3,700 qualified Aussie specialists across Germany, France and Italy, and have more than that number again in people that have registered with the program looking to qualify. Our unique selling proposition in Europe, and something that none of our competitive destinations do, is having one dedicated person each in France, Italy and Germany to train travel agents. Whether that is face-to-face, whether that is in activities that partners organize, or in webinar sessions that can look into more specialist or niche areas, as well as the overarching messages, this is a fundamental pillar of what we do in this region. We complement that with fam trips to Australia, the biggest one being Corroboree West, which will take place in October at the Gold Coast, and where in total 300 travel agents from North America, Brazil, but also the UK, Northern Europe and Continental Europe will come and visit Australia and learn firsthand how to sell this to their customer. This continues to be a key activity in everything that we do in the next financial year. 2017-18 will be a great year for Continental Europe traveling to Australia. All the conditions are right to make people want to spend their money on holiday travel. There are fewer places that people naturally want to go to for security reasons at present. And most importantly, in terms of what Australia has got to offer, it appeals 100% to our European audience. Our main issue we are looking to solve in Continental Europe is closing that gap between very good intention and consideration levels and the actual conversion. So we need to make that dream become a reality for people, and we need to tell them to do that now rather than wait for a later time. We will look at this by being more digitally focused than we have been before and creating more inspirational, locally relevant content, working with digital influencers, and we are hoping to create an environment where it's easier for people to make that decision to book that trip to Australia. In everything we do, we will work with partners to foster conversion, and we will drive customers to these offers in an always-on approach throughout the year. The topics or themes that we will look at will continue to be coastal and aquatic, and that has worked very strongly for us this year as well. But we will now pick up the areas of wildlife as well, and we are very excited about the new collective in this area. It is a very emotional topic, one that is unique to Australia, and therefore something that gives people that reason to actually make Australia their choice over other destinations. And last but certainly not least, the Indigenous tourism offering is something that Europeans are looking for. They expect that when they come to Australia. So we need to help people understand what is on offer, how they can go about booking that, and what they will actually experience. We will continue to work on the youth market, which is strong and which I've gone into more detail before. And we are very excited to bring the Global Youth Promotion to life across all three markets in Continental Europe. We are facing strong competition from our friendly competitors from the national tourist offices of other countries, and whilst everybody has healthy budget levels in this market, we are looking to be that little bit smarter and more targeted in reaching the actual high value traveler, working with partners to bring offers to our audience in a year-round approach, and training the travel trade with our unique trainers across all three markets to make sure that Continental Europe continues to increase in numbers and certainly in the dispersal that we bring from this region. How can you get involved working with us or working with continental Europeans overall? First of all, my team and I would be delighted to discuss individual opportunities with you at ATE. If there is something you have in mind or a question, please come and see us. Secondly, the Aussie Specialist Program is getting to over 3,700 agents that are already qualified, so please work with the team in Sydney that drive the core content of this program to make sure that you are included in this. Famils for trade or media is something that will always work. People are emotionally engaged, they understand, and this is something that we will continue to work on across all three markets for the upcoming year. If you happen to be in Europe, in Frankfurt, Paris or Milan, please reach out to us and come and see us in our offices. Ideally, we would like to learn from you what it is that you do, how that suits the European market, and equally discuss any opportunities with you. If you want to establish stronger networks or get to know those that actually sell the destination, i.e. the product managers and Aussie specialists, come and join us for some of the events in region. ITB takes place in Berlin in March 2018 and is the world's leading tourism show with an Australia presence. Or if you are a new to market product, there will be the European Product Workshop in London. Last but certainly not least, if you've got any content that is in German, French and or Italian, please make it available to us, let us know, and also let your tour operator partners and inbound operator partners know so that they can feed this out to those that need it. We come to ATE with a group of round about 74 European buyers, and there are 5 specialist buyers within that will attend ATE at the very beginning of the show. There is 1 walking tour operator from Germany, that's Wigwam, and there are 4 premium operators, 2 from Germany, 1 from France and 1 from Italy. Premium is a segment that is growing for Australia at present. It begins to be more and more strongly associated with Australia as a destination, and therefore is something that we should jointly focus on. Thank you very much for your interest in Continental Europe. Dankeschön, grazie mille, merci beaucoup. And if there's anything I can do for you or questions I can answer for you, I'm at ATE for the duration of the show. And most importantly, I'd actually like to learn about your product so that I can help you spread the message in my region. Thank you.